In the complex dance of modern romance, few things are as frustrating as a man who seems to relish in being elusive. This silence, these mixed signals, and the occasional crumbs of attention can drive anyone to the brink of desperation. You find yourself caught in a whirlwind of doubt. Did I do something wrong? Should I message him again? What's wrong with me? Hold that thought, because here's the stark reality. It's not about you, it's a strategic game. And trust me, you're neither the first nor the last to be swept up in this exhausting charade. But let's set the record straight. The real issue isn't his coy detachment. The crux of the problem lies in our response. Society has woven this narrative that if a man pulls away, it's a woman's duty to pull him back in, to prove her worth, to validate her desirability. What a profound myth. Let me let you in on a little secret. The moment you stop playing his game and start crafting your own rules, everything changes. This shift isn't about revenge in its pettiest form. No, it's about regaining your dignity and transforming into a woman of high value who commands respect, not confusion. Today, I will guide you through a new mindset, rooted deeply in the wisdom of dark Stoic psychology, a philosophy that teaches resilience, self-control, and the importance of inner tranquility in the face of external turmoil. By the time we conclude, you won't just know how to deal with his disinterest. You'll rise above it, enhancing your own life in ways that naturally draw the right kind of attention. Imagine you're a mighty oak tree, solid, grounded, unshaken by the storm. His indecisiveness, his back and forth, is just the wind. You sway, you do not break. This image encapsulates the essence of Stoicism, a profound mastery over your emotions, where you react not with impulsive emotion, but with deliberate, dignified poise. Let's delve into personal empowerment, not through manipulative tricks, but through fostering confidence and a magnetic allure born from self-assurance rather than neediness. How? By focusing on your value first. When he steps back, instead of leaning in, lean into your own life. Ask not why he grows distant, but how you can grow so compelling, so self-sufficient, that his absence is hardly felt. This isn't merely about distraction. It's about a fundamental realignment with your own worth. Consider the last time you put yourself first, without waiting for someone else to notice or approve. This is your moment to reclaim that narrative. High-value women don't chase, they attract. And true attraction doesn't stem from desperate seeking. It comes from leading a life so enriched, so vibrant, that people are naturally drawn to it. But will this approach work? Will he forget you if you cease your pursuit? Here's where the Stoic magic lies. When you focus on your own excellence, you radiate a quiet confidence that's impossible to ignore. The Stoics teach us that the more we need others' validation, the less free we truly are. By disengaging from the chase and investing in yourself, you become not only untouchable, but irresistible. Challenge yourself to identify areas of your life that have languished in his shadow. Is it your health, your hobbies, your social life? Commit to these domains, enrich them, and watch as your world expands beyond the narrow confines of his attention. Here's another Stoic truth to fortify your journey. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. Embrace this ethos. As you do, you'll find that your emotional landscape shifts. No longer will you be a puppet danced on the strings of his indecision. Instead, you become the puppeteer of your own life. In closing, remember, this isn't just about one man or one situation. It's about rewriting the rules of your engagements, about setting a standard for your emotional and psychological well-being that no one can destabilize. It's about becoming a beacon of self-reliance and dignity, qualities that true Stoic wisdom prizes above all else. As we move forward, let this be your mantra. I am the architect of my reality, the queen of my castle. I do not lay siege to the hearts of others, but build a fortress around my own. Let this vision guide you, empower you, and lead you toward the fulfilling relationships and life that you deserve. Number 1. Embrace the silence of the sirens. In the intricate dance of relationships, the silence you choose can resonate louder than any words you might utter. Think of the mythical sirens, whose enchanting silence lured sailors toward them without a single note. In a world where actions often drown in a sea of noise, choosing to embrace silence can be your most powerful move. Silence is a source of great strength, said Lao Tzu, and in the context of romance, this strength transforms into an alluring mystique that compels attention without demand. Imagine you're a captivating enigma, a puzzle he yearns to solve but cannot decipher from a distance. By adopting the silence of the sirens, you're not playing hard to get, but hard to forget. This Stoic approach in your relationships isn't about passivity. It's a strategic choice to communicate your value and worth indirectly. It's about making your presence so profoundly felt in your absence that the silence speaks volumes. This tactic isn't about withholding for the sake of manipulation, but about fostering a space where your partner can appreciate your true worth in the quiet moments when you're not there to fill the air with words. Consider the power of a paused conversation in a garden at dusk, where the blossoming flowers need no words to express their beauty. Their presence is enough to be felt and admired. Similarly, when you choose to step back and embrace silence, you allow the space between you and your partner to be filled with anticipation and respect, cultivating a deeper desire and appreciation. This Stoic practice teaches us that not every action requires reaction, and not every question needs an immediate answer. Sometimes, the most profound connections are felt in what we do not say, allowing our actions and our calm to articulate our worth and our expectations. Moreover, embracing the silence of the sirens in relationships means maintaining your dignity and composure, even when emotions run high. It's about being the calm in the storm, the steady lighthouse beam that guides ships safely to shore. In practical terms, this might mean not responding immediately to messages that seek to elicit a quick emotional response, or choosing not to engage in discussions that aim to unsettle your peace. As we close, remember that your silence is a form of self-respect. It's a declaration that you are confident enough in your own value that you don't need to constantly prove it. Embrace this empowering affirmation. I hold the power of presence, even in silence. Let this be a mantra that reinforces your approach to relationships, reminding you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. I encourage you to write this affirmation in the comments. I hold the power of presence, even in silence. Share how embracing your silent strength has transformed your interactions. If you find value in our discussions and want more insights into becoming a high-value woman through the teachings of dark Stoic psychology, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're committed to providing you with life-changing lessons that empower you to not just navigate, but to master the complex dynamics of relationships. Number 2, forge self-worth in fire. In the complex theater of relationships, where emotional games often set the stage, it's crucial to remember that true strength is forged in fire. Like the legendary phoenix rising from ashes, Each challenge offers a unique opportunity to ignite your self-worth with the flames of experience and wisdom. Consider this ancient adage: gold is tried by fire, and the human heart is valued by the adversity it can withstand. Imagine self-worth as a blade, crafted not in the calm, but in the blistering forge of life's most challenging moments. Each time you find yourself second-guessing your value in the shadow of neglect or indifference, remember that these trials are not merely obstacles. They are opportunities to temper the steel of your spirit. Just as a blacksmith wields his hammer with precision, use each experience to mold your self-esteem into something unbreakable. This process is akin to walking through fire. You must hold your ground, centered and focused, not swayed by the heat of misdirection or the smoke of insincerity. It is in these moments that your true value crystallizes, becoming clear and defined. Think of it as crafting your own armor in the foundry of your resolve, an armor that gleams with the mark of authenticity and resilience. Let us draw upon the Stoic wisdom that tells us not to be perturbed by external events, but rather to embrace them as catalysts for growth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When faced with games and uncertainty in relationships, this perspective becomes a powerful tool. It transforms potential heartbreak into a stepping stone, pushing you towards greater emotional independence and strength. As high-value women, our task is to maintain our inner equilibrium and integrity, regardless of the external circumstances. We must strive to be like the Stoic oak, whose roots run deep, so firm and so established that even the wildest storms of life cannot shake it. In doing so, we ensure that we're not just participants in relationships, but architects of our own emotional destiny. Therefore, when you encounter games, when you feel the heat of neglect or the cold of distance, let it serve as the fire that purifies rather than burns. Allow it to reveal the gold within you, bright, refined, and precious. Remember, it's not the flames that define you, but your ability to rise from them, stronger and more brilliant than before. As we close this discussion, carry this affirmation with you: I am forged in fire, resilient and radiant. Write this in the comments to affirm your commitment to self-worth. Like and subscribe to our channel as we continue to delve into the depths of relationships and self-growth, crafting more life-changing lessons to empower you along your journey. Your engagement fuels our passion and dedication to bringing forth content that not only enlightens, but transforms. Number 3. Wield the sword of detachment. When was the last time you truly felt in control of your emotions, untouched by someone else's games? Picture yourself standing in the middle of a storm. Chaos swirls around you, but you remain steady, unbothered, and unshaken. This is the power of wielding the sword of detachment, a skill so essential in relationships that mastering it can change not only how you approach love, but also how you command respect. Detachment is not about indifference. It's about owning your emotional space. It's about being the calm eye of the storm while the world rages on, a silent yet undeniable force of strength. As Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote perfectly embodies what it means to wield the sword of detachment in relationships. When someone tries to play games with your emotions, their actions are like waves crashing against the shore. But when you master detachment, you become the rock, immovable and impervious to the tides of manipulation. Imagine this: you're at a poker table. Everyone is bluffing, throwing chips down, trying to manipulate the game to their advantage. But you play with quiet confidence, never revealing your hand. You observe, you calculate, but you don't react rashly. This is detachment in relationships. While he tries to play hard to get, throwing mixed signals and vague intentions your way, you don't let your emotions dictate your moves. Instead, you pause, you assess, and most importantly, you hold your ground. The moment you stop chasing and start observing is the moment the game shifts in your favor. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to not allow someone else to control your peace. Let's say he doesn't text back for hours or even days. The old you might have overthought every second of his silence, anxiously waiting for his response. But the detached you? She's busy living her life. She's focused on her goals, her passions, her joy. Detachment doesn't mean you ignore him to play games. It means you're so invested in your own life that his inconsistency no longer feels like a crisis. Think of it like this. Detachment is a sword you wield, not to cut ties, but to carve boundaries. It's not about building walls. It's about building a fortress where your peace reigns supreme. When he sends a vague text, instead of agonizing over what he means, you respond with clarity, or not at all. When he cancels plans at the last minute, you don't rearrange your life to accommodate him again. Your detachment communicates that you value your time and energy, and those who don't meet your standards won't waste them. Here's a metaphor for you. Detachment is like a lighthouse. The lighthouse doesn't chase the ships or try to convince them of its value. It simply stands tall, shining its light, a beacon of stability and strength. The ships that need guidance will steer toward it. The rest will drift away. By wielding detachment in your relationships, you become that lighthouse. The right person will see your unwavering strength and will come closer. Not because you demanded it, but because they recognize the value in your calm, centered presence. Detachment also requires you to shift your focus from winning him over to asking yourself a more empowering question. Is this person even worth my energy? As Stoicism teaches, the things we can't control, like someone else's behavior, shouldn't consume us. Instead, we should pour our energy into the things we can control: our actions, our thoughts, and the way we nurture ourselves. When you detach, you stop being a player in his game and start writing your own rules. If the fear of losing him makes you hesitate, remember this: you can never lose what is truly meant for you. The man who values you will step up, not because you begged him to, but because your detachment has created space for him to realize your worth. And if he doesn't step up, you've already freed yourself from the emotional chaos of someone who wasn't ready to match your energy. Either way, you win. So, what does wielding the sword of detachment look like in action? It looks like grace in the face of inconsistency. It looks like staying focused on your purpose while others flounder in their indecision. It looks like a woman who is so confident in her value that she doesn't chase, she attracts. Remember, detachment isn't a cold rejection of others. It's a warm embrace of your own power. As we wrap this up, let me leave you with this affirmation. I own my peace, and no one's actions can take it from me. Write it in the comments to seal your commitment to wielding the sword of detachment. Let these words remind you that your strength lies in your ability to stay grounded, no matter what storms arise. And if this resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Number 4. Guard the fortress of your heart. Imagine your heart as a grand fortress, a place of immense value, beauty, and strength. Would you leave its gates open for anyone to wander in, leaving footprints of carelessness behind? Or would you guard it with the wisdom and grace of a queen, allowing only those worthy of its treasures to enter? Too often in the world of relationships, we lower our defenses, hoping someone will cherish what we freely give. But the truth is, people value what they must earn. If he's playing games, you must become the vigilant keeper of your emotional fortress, unshaken, resolute, and impenetrable to manipulation. As the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you allow negative behaviors, mixed signals, or emotional games into your heart, you're staining your inner world. Guarding your heart is not about shutting down or becoming cold. It's about keeping your peace sacred and your standards high. It's about building emotional walls that aren't barriers but boundaries, clear, firm, and dignified. Consider this. A castle surrounded by a deep moat isn't isolated. It's protected. The drawbridge lowers only when trust is earned and intentions are clear. Similarly, in relationships, your openness should be a privilege, not a given. Let him work for access to your emotional world. Let him prove that he's worthy of standing beside you, not taking you for granted. When he plays hard to get, let your response be unwavering calm. Let him realize that he cannot storm your gates with half-hearted efforts or manipulative charm. His inconsistency is a test, not of your worth, but of his sincerity. If he truly values you, he'll cross the moat, scale the walls, and stand before you with genuine commitment. If he won't, he was never meant to enter in the first place. Think of your emotional energy as the castle's finest treasures, golden reserves that fuel your passion, creativity, and joy. Would you toss such treasures to someone who doesn't care for them? Would you allow an unreliable visitor to diminish their worth? Of course not. Stop spending emotional currency on those who haven't invested in you with honesty and consistency. Guarding your heart isn't about isolation, it's about selection. A high-value woman understands that being selective isn't being difficult or too much. It's about honoring yourself enough to wait for someone who shows up with intention, integrity, and unwavering effort. No king deserves a queen who forgets her crown in pursuit of attention. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control others, only our responses. When he sends mixed signals or plays games, respond not with anger or despair, but with indifference. His behavior speaks volumes, not about you, but about his character. In the grand scheme of things, someone who respects your emotional fortress will approach it with patience, not games. Remember, emotional security isn't built on someone's promises. It's built on proven actions. Don't let sweet words lower your drawbridge. Consistency, respect, and commitment, these are the only keys to unlocking your trust. Anything less should be met with quiet distance and self-respect. As you navigate the unpredictable terrain of relationships, let this be your mantra. My heart is my kingdom, and only the worthy may enter. This isn't about arrogance, it's about living with dignity. By guarding your heart, you're preserving your emotional freedom, ensuring that you only allow love that uplifts, empowers, and aligns with your highest self. Affirm this truth with me now. I guard my heart with strength, wisdom, and grace. Write this affirmation in the comments below as a declaration of your worth. If you found this lesson empowering, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're working hard to bring you life-changing insights and lessons rooted in timeless principles of Stoicism, personal growth, and emotional empowerment. Remember, your heart is your most valuable treasure. Treat it as such, and only allow those worthy of its beauty to be a part of your story. The best is yet to come. Number 5. Transform withdrawal into renaissance. Have you ever noticed how the coldest winters give birth to the most beautiful springs? The trees don't beg the sun to shine or the snow to melt. They endure, rooted in patience, knowing that change is inevitable. The same applies when someone you care about pulls away. His withdrawal isn't your end, it's your beginning. You have the power to turn his emotional absence into the fertile soil for your personal rebirth, a renaissance of your mind, heart, and soul. When he distances himself, resist the urge to chase, plead, or explain. Instead, redirect that energy inward. Use the space he creates as a blank canvas and paint the masterpiece of your own evolution. Remember, the flower does not dream of the bee. It blossoms and the bee comes. You are that flower. You don't need to pursue, you need to bloom. Consider the phoenix, a legendary bird that rises from its own ashes, reborn and more majestic than before. His withdrawal is your fire. Let it burn away self-doubt, insecurity, and neediness. Rise from the ashes with renewed strength, confidence, and grace. Every moment he spends distant is a moment you can use to build yourself into someone so radiant that his absence feels trivial against the brilliance of your growth. When you stop chasing, you create a vacuum, a space he will notice, if he values you. But here's the twist. You're not creating this space for him. You're doing it for yourself. You're rewriting your story from one of longing to one of liberation. You are not just surviving his distance, you are thriving because of it. His withdrawal becomes the catalyst for your self-mastery. Imagine your life as a grand tapestry, and every experience, every heartache, every game played against you is a thread in the loom. You hold the needle. You decide how the pattern unfolds. His detachment is merely a darker thread that highlights the brighter, more vibrant colors you choose to weave in next. Your ambitions, your passions, your dreams. Do not let his emotional absence become the defining feature of your story. Remember the wisdom of Stoicism. The obstacle is the way. What feels like rejection is an opportunity to sharpen your mind and strengthen your spirit. His distance is your forge. Step into it not to be consumed, but to be remade. You are not a passive recipient of someone's inconsistent affection. You are the author, the artist, the architect of your destiny. Consider the tides of the ocean. They retreat, but only to build strength for the next mighty wave. His withdrawal is that ebb. Don't stand at the shore lamenting the receding water. Turn around, explore the untapped beauty of the shore, and when the tide returns, if it's worthy of your presence, it will find you stronger, wiser, and completely self-sufficient. To anyone who has ever felt abandoned or dismissed, you are not empty, you are evolving. His distance is not a sign of your inadequacy. It's a sign that it's time to prioritize yourself. Use this period to rediscover the passions you've shelved, to reignite the ambitions you put on hold, to nurture the relationships that uplift you, not the one that drains you. His withdrawal is not the end of your story. It's the start of a chapter where you are the focal point. It's where you reclaim your identity, your strength, and your self-worth. Let this be the season where you bloom so brightly that even the shadows cast by his absence are illuminated by your brilliance. So here's your affirmation. His withdrawal fuels my rebirth. I rise stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever before. Write this in the comments to claim your power and declare your transformation. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. We're working hard to create life-changing lessons that help you become the best, most unstoppable version of yourself. Remember, you are not just worth someone's attention, you are worth their unwavering respect and devotion. The best is yet to come. Number 6. Cultivate the garden of mystery. Have you ever noticed how the most enchanting gardens are the ones partially hidden behind old wrought-iron gates, inviting curiosity but never fully revealing their secrets? That's the energy you should embody in relationships. A captivating presence that intrigues but never overshares. A woman who knows her worth understands that mystery isn't about playing games. It's about preserving her essence, nurturing her soul, and sharing herself only with those who've earned the privilege of seeing her inner world. Mystery isn't a facade, it's a state of being. Think of yourself as a beautiful, flourishing garden. Not everyone gets to walk its winding paths. Some may only see the blooms from afar, wondering what lies within. You allow access to those who value your time, respect your boundaries, and match your energy with intention and effort. As the Stoics taught, he who possesses himself commands the world. Master yourself first, your emotions, your passions, your desires, and you will become an enigma worth chasing, never pleading. Imagine a novel whose entire plot is revealed on the first page. There's no reason to keep reading. In the same way, you should never feel the need to explain your every thought, plan, or emotion. Let your actions speak. Let your presence be felt. But keep parts of yourself reserved. Not because you're withholding love or authenticity, but because not everyone deserves full access to your heart's most sacred corners. Those who seek shallow validation reveal their intentions quickly when met with a woman who does not overshare or overgive. Think of the moon. It never reveals its entire face at once, and yet people are mesmerized by its phases, longing for the full view. Its mystery keeps humanity enchanted. Be like the moon, radiant, constant, yet never fully exposed. Let him wonder what occupies your thoughts when you're silent, where your mind wanders when you're not texting back immediately, and what passions fuel your life when you're not in his presence. This is not manipulation, it's the power of self-containment. Consider a locked jewelry box. What makes it valuable isn't just the jewels inside, but the fact that not everyone can access them. The same principle applies to your inner world. Protecting your emotions, ambitions, and dreams doesn't make you cold. It makes you discerning. You're not a mystery to confuse or mislead. You're a layered, multifaceted woman with depth, wisdom, and purpose. Only those willing to invest effort and authenticity should be granted a deeper connection. Many women fear that being less available or not revealing every part of themselves will push someone away. But here's the truth. The right man will be drawn in by your depth, not intimidated by it. He'll recognize that a life with you means consistently showing up, proving himself worthy of entering your private world. A man who respects mystery respects value, and if he doesn't, he was never truly seeking a meaningful connection. Your personal growth should always be the main plot of your life's story, not someone else's attention. Water your garden with passion, purpose, and joy, and its beauty will speak for itself. When you nurture your soul and let your light shine, people will naturally be curious. They'll be drawn not by desperate pursuit, but by admiration for the woman who radiates strength, independence, and allure. As you walk this journey, remember that mystery is not about being distant. It's about being selective. Share your light with those who appreciate its brilliance, not those looking for a quick spark. In love and life, your value is in your depth, your complexity, and your ability to remain centered no matter who comes or goes. Never give anyone the power to dull your shine by making you feel you must explain your worth. Here's your affirmation. I am a garden of infinite beauty and depth. Only those who respect my worth may enter. Write this in the comments to claim your power and remind yourself that you are the prize, not the pursuer. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're dedicated to bringing you life-changing lessons that empower you to navigate relationships with strength, dignity, and grace. Stay focused, stay empowered, and remember, you are the mystery that's worth discovering. Number 7. Reflect with the wisdom of the Stoics. Have you ever stood before a calm, still lake and watched how it reflects the world around it with unwavering clarity? The lake doesn't distort what it sees. It mirrors reality without emotion or bias. This is how the Stoics viewed life and relationships, as mirrors reflecting truth, no matter how harsh or beautiful. When someone plays games with your heart, the path forward isn't reaction, it's reflection. In relationships, it's tempting to react emotionally when faced with mixed signals, manipulation, or inconsistent behavior. You might feel compelled to demand answers or force clarity, but doing so only hands over your emotional power. The Stoics believed that power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering how we respond to what life, or love, throws at us. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When someone's behavior confuses or disappoints you, don't be quick to act. Be like that still lake. Observe, reflect, and respond from a place of strength and wisdom. Imagine you're holding a mirror in a dimly lit room. When someone steps closer with light, the mirror shines brighter. When they step away, the mirror dims, but its essence remains unchanged. You are that mirror. Their presence or absence doesn't define your worth. The way they treat you reflects who they are, not who you are. By observing calmly, without desperate reactions or emotional outbursts, you gain clarity about their intentions and about what you truly deserve. Consider this. When he sends vague texts, takes hours to respond, or cancels plans with empty apologies, don't spiral into overthinking or chase after explanations. Instead, reflect on what his actions reveal about his character. Is he showing genuine interest, or is he playing a game? The answer lies not in what he says, but in what he consistently does, or fails to do. As the Stoics believed, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Focus on living your truth rather than trying to decode someone else's. Being reflective doesn't mean being passive. It's about mastering emotional intelligence and reclaiming your energy. Think of yourself as a lighthouse standing firm on the shore. When the sea rages with uncertainty, you remain steadfast, guiding only those willing to navigate toward you with integrity. The light you shine isn't for everyone, but for those who value your worth. Even when emotions run high, remember that composure is your superpower. It's what separates the emotionally reactive from the emotionally resilient. You are not someone's emotional puppet. You are the author of your story. If he values you, he'll step up without you having to beg or bargain. If he doesn't, you'll already be too focused on building your life to notice his absence. And here's the ultimate truth. Reflection isn't about them. It's about you. It's about seeing things clearly and making choices that align with your worth. When you pause to reflect instead of react, you reclaim your inner peace. You become a woman who can't be manipulated, who can't be played. You become someone whose value isn't up for negotiation. So, when the temptation to react surfaces, remind yourself that true power comes from self-mastery. Be the calm in the storm. Be the mirror that reflects the truth without losing itself. Stand firm in your worth and let others reveal who they really are through their actions, not their words. Here's your affirmation for today. I reflect, I rise, I remain unshaken. Write this in the comments below to claim your power. If this message resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We are dedicated to creating life-changing lessons designed to help you become the high-value woman you were always meant to be. Your journey to unstoppable strength starts here. See you in the next video. Number 8. Trade whims for constancy. Have you ever seen a candle flicker in the wind? Its flame dances wildly, unpredictable and unstable, threatening to be snuffed out at any moment. Now compare that to a steady lighthouse beacon, strong, unwavering, guiding ships safely through the darkest storms. In relationships, too many people settle for the candle, erratic, inconsistent affection that flares up only when it's convenient. But a high-value woman seeks the lighthouse, steadiness, reliability, and genuine effort. She doesn't get caught up in fleeting whims. She values constancy. In a world where emotional games are common, stability is a rare and precious commodity. People who play hard to get thrive on unpredictability because it keeps you hooked, always wondering what comes next. It's like chasing a mirage in the desert. No matter how fast you run, it always seems just out of reach. But ask yourself, do you want to keep chasing illusions? Or do you want someone who shows up consistently, no games, no pretense? As the philosopher Seneca once said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Emotional games feed that suffering by creating imaginary futures that never materialize. A high-value woman doesn't invest in promises whispered in fleeting moments. She invests in actions that stand the test of time. When someone's words are sweet, but their follow-through is sour, she recognizes the mismatch and walks away. Her time and emotional energy are too valuable for temporary thrills. Imagine you're planting a garden. Would you keep watering a stubborn patch of barren soil, hoping that maybe, someday, something might sprout? Or would you redirect your care to the part of the garden that's already thriving, rewarding your effort with blooms and fruits? Relationships are no different. You cannot nurture something with potential alone. You need evidence of growth, action, and care. Anything less is emotional gambling, a risky bet where you keep losing pieces of yourself. The allure of inconsistency can be deceptive. People may be drawn to the emotional highs and lows because they mimic the rush of adventure. But real connection isn't about adrenaline. It's about security. It's about knowing someone will be there, not just when things are fun and exciting, but also when life gets complicated. A true partner is like a steady anchor in a stormy sea, not a kite drifting wherever the wind blows. Think of emotional consistency as a song played on repeat, not because it's boring, but because it's reliable and familiar in the best way. A high-value woman finds beauty in stability because she knows her worth isn't measured by how often she has to win someone back. She understands that someone who truly values her will show it, not sporadically, but continually, through intentional actions. When you prioritize constancy, you stop settling for someone who keeps you guessing. You start expecting and attracting someone whose love and respect are unwavering. The right person doesn't leave you feeling anxious, uncertain, or unimportant. Their presence feels like home, safe, supportive, and strong. And if that's not what you're experiencing, remember, choosing to walk away isn't losing, it's leveling up. Let me leave you with this. A candle may shine brightly for a moment, but a lighthouse guides ships for a lifetime. Choose the lighthouse. Choose stability over inconsistency. Choose respect over uncertainty. You are worthy of being someone's steady priority, not just an option when it's convenient. Here's your affirmation. I am worthy of consistent love, genuine effort, and unwavering respect. Write this in the comments below to anchor this belief in your heart. And if this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We work hard to create powerful, life-changing lessons designed to empower you on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. You are your greatest investment. Never forget that.